What's up everyone? On today's video, we are going over the top 10 things you need to know before moving to New Jersey. We're going to cover a whole host of different topics from the school systems and education to the Jersey Shore, not the TV show, the actual beach, and a few others. But before we get started, if it's your first time to the channel, my name is Steve McCutcheon and I'm a realtor at Berkshire Hathaway. On the Live in Central New Jersey channel, we cover everything related to the Central Jersey real estate market. So if you want to be the first one to know what's going on in either Monmouth or Ocean County real estate, feel free to click the bell, hit the subscribe button. Let's get this video started. The very first thing to know is the location. As you can see, New Jersey is going to be located in the northeastern part of the United States, and it borders a couple different states like New York, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. New Jersey is going to be made up of roughly 8,700 square miles, with 85% of that being land, the other 15% being water. We have a population of 9.3 million residents, which makes us the most densely populated state in the United States. That means we have a lot of people in a smaller area. Even with that though, and all the development we need to house these people, or our residents, we have 45% of our land is going to be covered by forest though, so that's how we get nicknamed the Garden State. Now, some other people might call us the armpit of America. I'm not sure where this nickname came up with, but in my opinion, those people probably only see Newark Airport and flying in and out real fast. And don't get me wrong, that is definitely an eyesore, but once you go about 15, 20 minutes outside of Newark Airport, especially if you come down south, you're gonna start to understand why we are the Garden State and just all the beautiful scenery that we have here. Point number 2 is going to be the commute to work and public transportation. Now, as we mentioned in the location section, New Jersey is conveniently located in between New York and Pennsylvania. With that being said, we have New York City and Philadelphia, which are two very large cities within themselves, but also very large job markets too. Now, what a lot of people will do in here in New Jersey will live here for the overall better quality of life, but then they'll also commute into either New York City or Philadelphia, typically get a higher salary. So what you do is you sacrifice a little bit of your time on your commute in order to make more money. But you live in New Jersey, it's a little bit better. So how do we get to each of these destinations? Well, first, you can either drive yourself. The two major highways that we have here in New Jersey that both run north to south are going to be the Garden State Parkway and the New Jersey Turnpike. The New Jersey Turnpike is going to be on the western border of New Jersey, so it kind of borders with that Pennsylvania area, but it also kind of, once you hit that central Jersey part, it starts to go cross over to the east and then up to the New York City border. The Garden State Parkway is going to be along the eastern part of Monmouth County, or not Monmouth County, along New Jersey, and that's going to run from Cape May, which is the most southern port that we have here, all the way up to New York border. So that's about 130 miles on that side. So you can use either one based on where you're located. Then if you wanted to use public transportation, you have a few different options, including the train, the bus, and the ferry. When it comes to taking the train, in the northern part, I'll bring up the map here for you. The northern part is where you're going to see most of the rail lines up there. It's a very highly densely populated area in that section of New Jersey, so you're going to have more rail lines available to get into New York City. You're still going to have some, like one or two in the southern part and then maybe one or two in the central part, but the majority, at least like direct middle of New Jersey, you're not going to have anything available. There was some talks about a Monmouth and Middlesex County line to go up north, but nothing there has ever really come of that. So there are some rail lines depending on where you live in the southern part, but the northern part is going to have the most. The other option is going to be taking the bus, and that's going to have a lot more availability to you in all parts of New Jersey. Specifically in like that Monmouth and Middlesex County area, you're going to see a lot of routes going up north to help to kind of adjust, I guess, for not having a train in that region. So you can either take New Jersey Transit, which is going to be the train line, or the same company that uses the train, or you can take Academy Bus, which is more of a private line. They basically run the same time frames. They do park and ride. So what you do is you bring your car to a certain destination. Let's just say, for instance, you're in Freehold. You take the you drive to the Freehold Raceway Mall. You park your car there, and you take the bus up into New York City. They have those all over the place. The last option is going to be taking the ferry. Now, this is obviously going to be dependent on where you live in terms of getting to the water. So the ferry is going to be from New Jersey to New York City. You have a couple different ones in like that northern Monmouth area. South Amboy is supposed to be getting theirs back in the Middlesex County area, and there's going to be a few like close to like that Hoboken, Jersey City area too. So pretty much anywhere you go, you're going to have another option, or at least some type of option. Usually out of all of them though, the ferry, if you're taking public transportation, that's going to be your most expensive per ride, but doesn't matter. You're going to get to the same destination one way or another. Point number 3 will be the school systems and education. Depending on which article, list, or website that you use, New Jersey typically ranks within the top 3 states in the entire US for the public school districts. Now, it comes with a little bit of a caveat here. We'll get to it later on, but our property taxes are also quite high here in this state. So a lot of your property taxes go towards the school systems that you're going to be living in. So a little bit of a downside to that, but obviously they're going towards a good cause. For instance, let's just say here in Monmouth County, we actually have High Tech High School that's going to be located in like the Middletown area, so which is like the northern Monmouth, but this is going to be the second best public high school in the entire state of New Jersey. So at least we know they're going towards a good cause here in Monmouth County. And the way it kind of breaks down is the more northern part of New Jersey, that's going to be like the highest priced homes and the higher property taxes. And as you work your way down a little bit, they'll get a little bit cheaper. So you'll notice in the northern and central part of New Jersey, the school systems will typically be a little bit better and higher ranked versus the southern part. Since we're a real estate channel, point number 4 is going to be the housing options. I typically break them down to 3 categories. So your single families, townhomes and condos, and adult communities. So most of the areas here in New Jersey and different towns, you're probably going to be able to find all 3 of these. Some more than others, right? Some maybe just focus on the single families. Some might just do a lot more condos and townhomes. Some might be adult communities. But whatever the case is, within like a couple of town radius, you're gonna be able to find any of the combination that you're looking for. With the way New Jersey works, like I kind of already mentioned, the northern part is going to be a little bit more expensive, but you're also going to get a little bit less bang for your buck too in terms of size. Right, if you're living in that Jersey City, Hoboken area, you're kind of going to be paying for the same price for a 3-bed, let's just say vertical townhome over there, as you will be for a bigger single-family home, let's just say here in Monmouth County, that's 4 or 5 beds sitting on half an acre to an acre of land. So kind of a little bit of a trade-off though too, because you have a shorter commute up in North Jersey versus down here in the South Jersey, or Central Jersey. If you go one county further south into Ocean County, again, you're going to be trading off that convenient commute, but it's going to get even cheaper than Monmouth County over there, and you're going to have a lot lower property taxes and home prices. So the way I like to look at New Jersey is the more north you are, the more you're probably going to be paying, and just break it down a little bit more every time you go another county south. Point number 5 would be the cost of living. I've already mentioned a few times here, but let's go like a little bit more in depth into it. So when it comes to buying a home here in New Jersey, the median sales price is going to be $550,000. Obviously, that's not going to be for the entire state. Some parts are going to be more expensive and other parts will be cheaper. So if you live in the northern part, like we said, it's going to be a little bit more. If you go into the southern part, it'll probably be a little less. That obviously that differs if you have a waterfront property or not, or something along those lines, something that's more valuable, but kind of a little bit of a guideline for you at least. Now, when it comes to the property taxes, that's where we also jump up to. We are going to be the highest in the entire US. We have a 2.23% effective rate, which means let's say your house is assessed for $500,000. 2.23% of the $500,000 will be your property taxes. So what's that, like $10,000, $11,000, whatever the case is. So a lot of people will find it harder to retire here in New Jersey. You have pretty much one of 2 options. You move further south to where it is going to be cheaper, or you move out of state and go further south, maybe into Florida. We see a pretty big population from New Jersey. North Carolina has done a lot of rebuilding or building recently, so a lot of people can go down that way. It just makes it a little bit easier, better quality of life in your golden years. So those good school systems, like I said, they do come at a cost. Before we head on over into our next point, if you're enjoying the video so far, please smash the like button or even comment down below if you have a question about what it's like to live here in New Jersey. Our goal for the rest of 2024 and into 2025 is help as many people buy or sell real estate here in the New Jersey area, especially the central Jersey part. If that sounds like you, don't hesitate to reach out. We get calls, texts, emails from people just like you all the time, so don't be shy. But let's just get back to the content you came here for. Point number 6 would be the weather habits that we have here in New Jersey. Now, if you're someone that doesn't like the hot, doesn't like the cold, or something in between, New Jersey might not be the best place for you. We cover every season here. We have spring, summer, fall, and winter. In the summer months, we can get some pretty bad heat waves every now and then. We had one this past summer that lasted like 4 or 5 weeks from June into July. We were sitting in the upper 90s, gross humidity. I was walking my 3 dogs at like 6:37 in the morning just to beat the heat in time. So it can get kind of brutal sometimes, especially in that July or August period typically. So June was a little odd for us. We actually had a very hot June, not as bad of an August, thank God. But I'm not the one that's built for the heat necessarily. I'm a little bit more into the cooler months personally, but the same can be said for the winter. We can go on to a 1, 2, 3 week stretch where we have near 0 temperatures, maybe even colder than that because you had added in the wind chill and what it actually feels like. So we get pretty big extremes here in New Jersey, but the spring and summer months, or the spring and fall months are absolutely gorgeous. In the spring, you have all the flowers blooming, and then you also have in the fall the leaves changing colors. So we have a great dynamic here in Jersey, but if you're someone that doesn't like either direction or doesn't like the hot or cold, it might not be the best place for you. Now, we also typically can get some hurricanes every now and then. We haven't had one, thankfully, knock on wood, in a while. It's been about 10, 12 years or so, but that's always a possibility too. And we usually get at least 1 to 2 nor'easters pretty much every year as well. Randomly, maybe with some heavy winds and heavy storms, we'll get a tornado. Most of the time, it's just a warning, doesn't really touch ground. But if you're looking to move to New Jersey, just be aware of this. We do get all 4 seasons, and if you don't like snow or you haven't even experienced snow, we get that pretty often here too in the wintertime. We've been lucky the last couple. We haven't gotten hit pretty hard, but I guess it just means we're due. Point number 7 is going to be the Jersey Shore. Now, in my opinion, this is probably going to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest reason to live here. It's absolutely incredible and a great time during the summer. We have 130 miles worth of beaches from the northernmost point in Sandy Hook to the southernmost point in New Jersey in Cape May. From Memorial Day to Labor Day, this is going to be our peak season and a large tourism spike that we have here, which is also going to be a massive part of our economy here in New Jersey. So if anyone remembers Superstorm Sandy, happened about 12 years ago or so, just give or take, that decimated us. A lot of places had to get rebuilt, and it was a big impact on us as just a state in general. So Each area that you go to, there's so many different ones you can check out, from Belmar and Asbury Park to Point Pleasant, Long Beach Island, Wildwood, Cape May if you go further down south. They're all going to give you a different little bit of vibe or environment. For instance, Belmar and Asbury have more of a nightlife, whereas Point Pleasant, Long Beach Island, a little bit more family-friendly environment. You can go to the boardwalk, beach, play games, arcade games. They have some rides there too, mini golf and all that kind of things. Point number 8 is going to be the entertainment options for you here in New Jersey, and there are a whole host of them. It's absolutely incredible what you can do here, especially throughout the different seasons as well. So we just spoke about the Jersey Shore. Obviously, you can go out to the beach, boardwalk with your family during the day. If you want to go out for a night with friends, if a different bar or nightclub, it's also a possibility there. If you want to go out on the water, we have boating, fishing, kayaking, jet skiing, surfing, and whatever other thing, anything else you can think of on the water. We mentioned that we have 45% of our lands covered by forest, so you can go for a hike, bike ride and trail, go out and camping. We have plenty of beautiful scenic areas here in New Jersey with different waterfalls too, especially in the northern part. Highly recommend checking out one of them. We have a couple different sports teams that play here in New Jersey. We got the New Jersey Devils, but believe it or not, we also have the New York Giants and Jets. They're going to play here in New Jersey, so we kind of take claim to them as well. If you're in the more northern parts, a little bit easier to get to than others. We have Six Flags Great Adventure located over in Jackson in Ocean County. That's a big amusement park. They have rides and games. Then they're going to have a water park with a wild safari as well. So realistically, anything you could possibly imagine we do have here in New Jersey. I missed a bunch of them, but just kind of rattling off the top of my head. But if you have any questions about it, feel free to reach out in the comments. Point number 9 is going to be the shopping and dining options. Now, the shopping ones, I obviously can't rip through every single option, but we have quite a few different big malls in the area. From Short Hills, that's going to be a little bit bougier. Up north, you also have the American Dream Mall. That was a big meme for a long time for anyone that's not from New Jersey. It was this big thing that was under construction for a very long time. They were all joking about like what's going on over there. It also got refinanced quite a few times too, so it took a very long time, but it is open now and you can go check it out. You got the Freehold Raceway Mall in Freehold. You go Ocean County Mall down in Toms River. If you're looking for some outlet stores, so you want to find some name brand stuff for a cheaper price. Got the Jackson Premium Outlets in Jackson. You have the Jersey Shore Premium Outlets over in Tinton Falls. So there's just a couple off the top of my head that you can just kind of rattle off, but you also have a lot of the main highways here outside of the New Jersey Turnpike and Garden State Parkway. So like your Route 9s, 35, Route 1 over in Middlesex. A lot of these are going to have big box brand retailers all up and down there, and the different food stores and stuff like that. Maybe even some small mom and pop businesses too. So a lot of the times you're going to find literally any place you go now in New Jersey is relatively developed. You should be able to find something within a 5, 10, 15-minute ride of your house. On the restaurant and dining side of things, New Jersey is no slouch in this department either. We do have to compete with New York over a ton of things, most importantly pizza. In my opinion, we do have the better one. Sorry, you can come at me in the comments if you want for that one, but New Jersey's pizza selection is absolutely incredible for up and down the entire state of New Jersey. Highly recommend checking out your more local spots. They're really, really good. Then you can go for a nice breakfast sandwich, bacon, egg, and cheese. Our bagels are excellent too. Pork roll, egg, and cheese, or Taylor ham, egg, and cheese if you're up north. Sorry about that. But absolutely incredible restaurants. If you go down the Jersey Shore, that's my favorite area. You can go so many different ones, from Italian to some different steakhouses. If you get a Brazilian steakhouse, you try a bunch of different meats. It's almost hard to find a bad meal here in New Jersey. You have to almost go out of your way for that rather than finding a good place to eat. Point number 10 will be different diverse cultures and regions that we have here in New Jersey. I like to consider us a melting pot. I think it's absolutely incredible growing up here. There's so many different nationalities and backgrounds of people from here. Some people you'll hear, oh, I'm Italian American, Irish American, Polish American, whatever the case is for them. But when you're growing up here, if you're going to your friend's house, you start to learn new traditions that they do for their holidays, different foods and cuisines, and if you're willing to embrace it, it's absolutely incredible. And when you talk about what different regions that we have here in New Jersey, I like to break it down to north, south, and central. Some people will argue and say Central Jersey doesn't exist. It definitely does. I lived there my entire life. Highly recommend checking the place out. It's absolutely awesome. Being close to the water, Jersey Shore, and just incredibly being close to Philadelphia and New York, it's absolutely awesome. But back to that. If you're in the more northern and central part, a lot more hustle and bustle, people talking faster. I'm sure I do too. I don't even realize it. But a little bit like more faster pace of life. If you get into more of the southern Jersey, it slows down a little bit. You know, sometimes there's a little bit more 55 plus communities, a little bit older of population down there, but it's just a little bit slower than it is compared to the northern part of New Jersey. Thanks so much for sticking around to the end of the video, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you have any comments or questions about what it's like to live in New Jersey, feel free to drop them down below. I'd love to answer them. But with that being said, if you're looking to buy or sell here, feel free to reach out. All my contact information is down low in the comments and description. Whether you're 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, even a year out, it doesn't matter to me. Let's just get you on the right path towards your real estate goals. And if you're looking to move to a different part of maybe just the Central Jersey area, check out 2 videos popping up, and hopefully I'll be able to too. Have a great day.